Coach, what were you able to tell Matt, especially after those 2 turnovers in the fourth quarter? I guess maybe on the plane ride home, or
I always on the plane ride home. I always watch the game by myself first on the iPad, then I go back and sit with him and watch it with him. And the first interception was a tip ball, so that had nothing to do with him. The second one was an all-go, and they dropped 8 people. They were real deep, so he really just needed to take off and run. And then the third one I'll put on me. I shouldn't have called that in that situation. So, one interception, threw for 350 yards, competed his tail off. Sometimes people look at just the numbers, and it could be 2 guys ran the wrong route or something else happened. So everybody always wants to blame it all on the quarterback, but sometimes it's his fault. But in those instances, I think 2 of them weren't his fault. One of them he's got to learn from, grow from.
I feel like the running game has dropped off a little bit after the first game.
It has a little bit. We need to get it back going. I felt like at times we had a rhythm, and Elijah was running pretty strong and doing a good job. We just got to get a little more consistent. Then there was times we had runs called, and they were blitzing quite a bit, and so we checked out of them. So a little bit of both, but we need to run the ball better to take some pressure off of Matt.
Are you still trying to split up the carries? Is it going to be kind of a week by week? Who's performing?
It kind of goes by how they practice. Who practices the hardest and who practices the best, and then if they're hot in the game, then we'll go with that. A lot of that game, some of it was Elijah was in there because they were bringing so much inside pressure, so a bigger body to block those linebackers in those A gaps.
Was it a hard decision at the end of the first half to let them run instead of kicking the field goal?
It was kind of just a gut instinct, We hadn't been stopped on a short yardage all year. Elijah had gotten every short yardage we ran, and I just felt like we were going to get it. So you look back on it and think, yeah, maybe I should have kicked the field goal. But to be honest, if it happened again, I'd probably do the same thing. If we'd had an incomplete pass on that play before, then for sure you kick it. But Deion got it, and we got to run down there and push him in, and then we just got to get it. We got yard to go. We got to get it.
What have you seen from South Alabama in the first 3 games?
They're really fast. As a team, they're very, very athletic. Probably the most athletic team we've played yet. Definitely on defense, they got some guys that can run. Got a really good defensive end, a good 3 technique. Their safeties are good players. They're a good football team.
A lot of people point to their 2 losses, but in the summer you told me they're one of the most talented teams in the conference.
Yeah, I still think that. They were picked number 2 by most people going into the year. Mississippi State, obviously that loss. And then when you watch the Mississippi State game when you're watching their defense, it's like 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. Then Mississippi State's quarterback can make a great play. Then a 3 and out, and then Mississippi State quarterback can make a great play. So it was 28-3, but as you watch it on film and you're studying it, it makes you a little nervous because they didn't get many first downs. Just their quarterback made some big plays on them.
Their 2 tough losses have been to 2 pretty good teams, Mississippi State and Georgia Southern.
Yeah. That's just, they might have had a little, after the Mississippi State game because they played really hard and fast in that game, and then they might have had a little letdown for Georgia Southern. I'm not sure, but they're a good football team, so we got to be ready to play, protect our home field, and get ourselves a win.
Coach, the defense still giving up some big plays, but it seems like they've gone down a little bit. Have you guys simplified your scheme or done anything like that?
Maybe a little bit. I think they just ran and tackled better. They ran and tackled better, and then a couple times we still got hurt. Guys just a couple of those big long plays. Guys didn't do their job and have it be in their gap. So that's something we still have to correct. But as far as just running around and tackling, I thought they improved.
Do you see yourself making any personnel adjustments back in the secondary, especially?
Possibly. We'll see how this week goes. Obviously, last week we didn't have Grabsky, and I thought Russell ran around and played hard. So, that's just something that each week we'll compete in practice and then make that decision at the end of the week.
Do you expect both of the Jordan Grabsky and Rose back this week?
I would say Grabsky for sure, probably not. I'm hoping to get Jordan Rose, but I don't know yet. He was not out there last night.
What are some of the strengths South Alabama has on their defense, and how do you go play attacking that?
Their strength would start with their D-line. They're good up front, their D-line. They bring a lot of different pressures, so you have to be sharp, both quarterback and
Hold the phone for a minute.
Hey, Coach, Dave Nato, Jason. Just one last, I know you had some optimism for what Josh could do at receiver, even going back to the spring. What's impressed you most about what he's able to do a couple games in for you?
Just his ability to, he goes up and catches the ball so well with his hands. He's had some great plays where he just went up and taken the ball away from people, and then he's good with the ball in his hands after the catch, and that's kind of something that we always thought he had the ability to do, and he's played real well, and he could even play better. I was telling him the other day he could easily have had 200 yards in 2 of those games, so that's just something that he can just keep growing on. He's right now he's 7th in the country in receiving yards per game, and he could be in the top 4 pretty easily. So hopefully that's where he can get himself here in the future.
Anything else, Dave?
Well, yeah, also, with Josh, I know you can play the game with a lot of guys, but, not many of the seniors, you almost kind of sit there and wish that you had him for another year so you can continue to develop and you had more time with him.
Yeah, you really wish that. You wish that he had one more year, because he's going to get better every single day, and then he could be real special. But we don't. So he's just got to make great improvements, every week. And to be honest with you, his best practice he's had yet last night. So last night he was on fire, and that was the best practice he's had by far, all fall, all during the season. So hopefully that means he's going to do it again Wednesday and Thursday and have a great game.
And going off that again a little bit, how do you think that some of those other receivers take a step up? And I know obviously, Justin was able to get in there and have a pretty good game in tight end too. It seems like, Matt's getting comfortable with a lot more options.
Yeah, right now we have 4 guys that are in the top 10 in the Sun Belt in receiving. You got Josh, you got Dion, you got Richard, and then you got Petrowski. So 4 of the top 10 receivers in the Sun Belt right now are playing for us, and the ball's being spread around well, and they're all making plays, and I think they all just need to keep practicing hard and improving on that.
Back to the room.
Matt's missed just by a little bit on a couple of long deep passes. Is that just a timing thing, getting used to his receivers, or is that? But
he also hit a few last week.
Yeah.
He hit 3 of them and actually put that post right in Josh's hands. So I actually think from the first 2 games to last week, he made big strides on the deep ball. And we worked it really hard going into the game last week, because we knew we had to hit some of those because of the coverages they played. So I think he made big strides in throwing the long ball for last week.
You guys have had some scouts at your practices the past few weeks. Is Josh on their radar right now?
I'm sure he is. Anytime you start making plays like that, if he's not, he will be. He will be soon. So, that's just something obviously all kids think about and care about. What he needs to worry about right now is just improving every single day. Getting better at getting in and out of his breaks, getting better at catching every ball, getting stronger in the weight room, and just continuing to improve. And he keeps, doing what he can do. And, there's no question of getting into camp. It's just how much he improves to whether he can stay there.
When you were at Arkansas, did you know about him? I had kind of heard that you had been looking at him when you were.
Yeah, we did. We knew about him. Me and Coach Singovich both knew about him, and we were already talking to him, and thought he was, a running quarterback, but also thought, there's a chance he was athletic enough to be a receiver even at that time.
Did you guys see him at Arkansas as a quarterback? Were you recruiting him as a quarterback?
It was kind of to be brutally honest, we knew we weren't going to still be at Arkansas. So we knew wherever we ended up, that was a kid that was athletic and a good player, and you might want to recruit him.
And he was probably aware of that too. And did he feel pretty comfortable following you guys wherever you would be, or?
You just start out talk. I think early on in recruiting, you just build relationships. You get to know people, and then as soon as we got here, he was the first kid we called.
You guys expecting a lot of players' dads coming in?
Hopefully, that'd be great. I think it'd be great to have. Hopefully, all their dads are here, and they can go out there and play for their dad, and make them proud, and do everything they can.
Talk about getting that home winning streak. How important is it to start that now?
It's always important. It's very important, and especially if we get this one, because it'll be a team that'll year in, year out be one of the most talented teams in our league. So, it'd be a huge win for us.
Do you guys feel like you're just a couple plays away from winning the game?
Yeah, I mean, we're a couple plays away from being 2-1, and that's what's a little frustrating, but it's also gives you great, encouragement for the future, because, anytime turning a program around, you gotta have a great quarterback, and you gotta play good defense, to be honest with you. And right now, we're 1 out of 2. We just gotta get 2 out of 2, and then we'll be in good shape.
I think that's just kind of part of the process with a young program, I guess, is kind of playing those games where you're not going to come out on top and just kind of waiting and being patient for that to happen.
Yeah, gosh dang, we needed to have it start happening, you know what I mean? But you see stride, you see different guys stepping up, making plays, and there's just, there's probably 4 key plays last weekend that we just need to execute, and if we execute, probably 2 of them on offense, 2 on defense, and if we execute either side of the ball, if we just get 2 out of the 4, we probably have a chance to win the game.
Do you feel the players are starting to believe a little more in the system?
No question.
I know they're kind of buying in during the spring, but now kind of getting results in the field, and you just
There's no question. There's no question. They're believing and they're feeling good about it, and so now we just gotta keep fighting. It's not gonna happen overnight. I wish it would. I know you guys wish it would, but you just gotta keep grinding and keep fighting, and that's just part of having to be mentally tough. We all have to stay mentally tough. We all just have to keep fighting and make it happen.
I guess one of the things I've noticed is last year's team, maybe when you got in a hole early in the game, you would kind of maybe step off the gas pedal. Is that the difference this year? Is this team hangs in the games and maybe Saturday got itself back into the game after being down 17?
Question. Yeah, when it was 17-0 last year, then what did we do? Just got slaughtered probably. But they kept believing and they kept fighting and they just kept fighting 1 play at a time and put themselves in position to win. Now we just got to, when we're in that position, now we have to execute and take that next step.
Is that just a kind of learning how to win, so to speak?
Yeah, it is, and just, learning how to do your job every single play. You know what I mean? It's kind of the ability to focus when it matters, and concentrate, and then that's how you find a way to win.
Is there any extra urgency for you to do this for the seniors, get them on the winning track, as they've kind of been with this program